As the budget 2017 is about to unravel on February 1st, 2017, we got everything you need to know about the budget. Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will present the much-anticipated Union Budget 2017-18 in the Lok Sabha.
So what is budget in layman language?
Well, budget, if we compare it our domestic incomes and spending, it is the same thing for the country. So, a budget is a statement, annual statement, financial statement which is being prepared by the government for all its revenues and the expenditure, proposed revenues and the proposed expenditure which government is going to receive from the different sources of income for the government expenditures and make the expenditures out of that. So, it is an annual statement being prepared by the Government of India and being presented by the Finance Minister before the Parliament every year.
What are the different kinds of budgets we have in this country?
In India, there are three-tier system of budgeting. One is being prepared by the central government, which is called the union budget or central budget. Second budget is being prepared by the state governments. Every state has got its own budgetary system. So, they calculate their incomes and expenditures for a particular year and they present the state financial budget. And third one is local government budget. So, at every district there is a local government, those also prepare the budget on the same pattern in which central budget or state budget is being prepared. And apart from that, one another budget is there which is commonly known as railway budget. So, railway itself prepares its own budget every year for its entire revenue which is expected by railways to receive in an ensuing year and the expenditures, proposed expenditures, revenue and capital both in the out of those revenues received by the railways. So, these four type of budgets are there normally prevailing in India.
Is there any difference between union budget and central budget?
See, union budget and central budget is one and the same thing. There is no difference at all. Only the thing is that some people call it union budget, some people call it revenue budget, but central budget. So, there is no difference at all. One and the same thing.
Who presents budget and whom the budget is presented to?
See, the central budget, we are talking about the central or union budget. Union budget is being presented by the finance minister of the government of India before the parliament every year. And with the proposals, tax proposals, macro proposals and the other development proposals which is being incorporated in the budget is being presented in the form of a budget document, normally before 1 month of the closing of the financial year or fiscal year.
At what time of the year union budget is presented and for what duration is it there?
Normally budget is presented one month before the end of the financial year or fiscal year. Here fiscal year or financial year means year starting from 1st April and ending on 31st March of every year. So, normally budget is presented in the first week of the February, first week of the March of this thing every year. And this time particularly it is going to be presented on the 1st of February.
What is the basic structure of the budget?
Well, basic structure of budget is that budget is presented in two parts, part A and part B, right. Part A consists of the macro level proposals of the government of India in consultation with different ministries, different organizations, trade organizations and different stakeholders of the budget like industry, service and other agriculture sector or other sectors which are directly related with the generation of the revenue and getting the grants or getting some incentives from the government, and it is for the for the macro level policies. Part B is basically a tax proposal given by the government through finance ministry, and this part B consists of direct taxes and indirect taxes both. So, it covers income tax, wealth tax, service tax, excise, customs, all these taxes which are prevailing in the system. Those are the part of part B of the budget.
What are the components of union budget?
Well, components of union budget is one part is revenue budget and second part is capital budget. When we talk about the revenue budget means whatever the revenue sources of the government and revenue expenditure of the government. What are the revenue sources? Revenue sources consist of taxes, tax revenues and non-tax revenues and expenditure which are directly related to the revenues of the government. Apart from that, if any interest is being paid or any commission is being paid or any services are being charged to the government, for that government has to make the payment, those are covered under the revenue expenditures. So, the budget which is covering the revenue incomes and revenue expenditure is a revenue budget. It is the first component of the budget. Second component, important component of the budget is capital budget, right? Capital budget again consists of capital receipts and capital expenditure of the government. Capital receipts includes what? Capital receipts includes the loans taken by the government from the Reserve Bank of India or from foreign governments or from any other source, or by issuing the treasury notes, or getting the money from the public from deposits and all other things. So those are the capital receipts. And capital expenditure against that is purchase of land, building, plant and machinery, giving grants or giving loans to the state governments or giving loans to the other foreign countries as well. So these are the capital expenditures. So the statement of income in terms of capital receipts and in terms of capital expenditure is a capital budget. It is a second portion of the budget.
Thank you so much for speaking with NYOOOZ TV. It was a pleasure having you here.